Okay, guys. So if you go to my previous relay, Relay 17, I said a lot of things. I mainly made some observations that weren't really clear to everybody, and they're like, "Oh, you're reading too much into this." But fortunately, there are other people using the system of pretend victimhood to assault people, and then after they assault those people, turn the forces on them, even though they were committing violence, right? Right, because they've been doing like cultural trade, quid pro quo. So we're gonna watch someone else do the exact same thing here in a second. Here, watch this.
For me. Stay away from Trump. You love Trump? What? You love Trump? Yeah, why? Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Piece of shit. Fucking weirdo. Wait.
Okay, so you see what happened there? Based on a piece of clothing, this person turned around and decided to commit violence instantly. This guy used pepper spray to try and stop him, but that guy's a big dude, so it was still a little bit of a fucking fight. What if he had a knife, right? Well, that pepper spray can do a lot. Oh, now you're stabbed. Good job, guys. Right? Good job. Let's just give the whole population pepper spray. That'll fix things. We'll give the victims guns and knives and shit. Fortunately, not in that case, but the victims, quote, but we're not going to give you anything. You get pepper spray, right? And then these people will turn around and assault people and attack people and create literal snitch mobs of colluding liars to literally try and kill people based off some random ass delusion they have on the internet. And they have been given a system to do that legally in this country, and that is to do the crime when not too many people are paying attention, and then immediately switch into a victimhood mode, and get the person who's been the victim of your abuse to go to jail or because the police are not doing their jobs. And it's not that they're not trying to do their jobs; it's that they can't, because what are they supposed to do when they come in any situation? They have a bunch of witnesses, but they have no way of knowing at any given point if half those fucking witnesses are compromised because they're inside men. Okay, and that's what these people do. They attack you, and the second you defend yourself, cry rape, rape, or racism, racism. Okay? That dude should not have needed that pepper spray. That dude should have had a gat on him, and the second that guy started running at him, he should have pulled that out and dropped that motherfucker. That's America. That's what kept us all polite and safe and secure, was having a armed, ethically aware, conscious, moral populace. All right? And the same way this dude's acting on the street here, that guy's acting in Afghanistan, right? And when they're together and they recognize each other, even though one of them's a color and one of them's a gender, right? They're both doing the same thing. And if they're gonna come after you and then cry victimhood and lie to have you economically segregated and murdered from society, well, and you're a full grown person, imagine what they're getting away with children when nobody's fucking looking. Behind closed doors, right? Now, are we supposed to go to everyone's house? No, but we have to understand how the internet has changed the world forever, right? That's why these conversations about nations and states and countries and tariffs is just so passe in a world where there's a decentralized network of global human predators lying to everybody and getting the government to help them in their abuse. People who think they're doing or trying to do the right thing, or trying to protect people, and trying to uplift people, right? By just creating these little like false face groups where they hang out with like 5 fucking pillars and leader and pretend they're calm all the time there, and then go right around and do horrible shit to everyone. Okay, like look at this again. One more time, guys.
You love Trump?
You have a hat I don't like.
What?
You love Trump?
Yeah, why?
You have a politician I don't like. Yeah.
Stay away from me.
You're gonna get fucked up, motherfucker. You're not doing what I say. You're not doing what the trans, queer, black, elite, whatever the fuck this weirdo called is saying to do. So you're gonna get it now. And that guy pulls out his pepper spray.
Stay away from me.
Piece of shit.
You gotta treat him like a bear a little bit, right? But if you pepper spray a bear, it might fucking rip your arm off. If you pepper spray a human, and they might shoot you or stab you. So pepper spray is really not that great of a defense. when you're dealing with a whole random situation, right? And now here we go. This guy's going to chase him down the street after aggressing on him. This dude is doing everything he can run away.
Fucking weirdo.
Rape, right? Rape. Okay, even though he's the aggressor, he's the attacker. All right, how many women has this happened to all over the fucking country by now? Hundreds, thousands, you know? Because a woman's not a full-grown dude. A woman is gonna like probably go to the ground when face that fucking situation. In reality, right? Okay, and then what's happening next, right? She can get beat up a little bit and go to a, you know, this guy might even call him his homies, be like, oh, I just tagged one, and they'll fucking come scoop her up while she's like, you know what I mean? How many men has this happened to where they got the pepper spray out to defend themselves? They pepper spray the person, but they're because they're a certain persuasion that you really shouldn't piss off. They whip out a weapon, they shoot you. The cops get there, and them and 5 of their friends say, "Yeah, this guy came out of nowhere. He's pepper spraying. He's yelling at everyone. We don't." And there's no video, right? Like that. These people are fucking lying monsters. They are liars. And right now, dudes in the generation behind me are being treated like this by these people, by regardless of color or gender, the people who have these attitudes and these systems of thought, this ideology of fake victimhood to fucking hurt people, right? And 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 yeah, and that's what we're all facing, and that's why there's a dude in Korea doing the same thing I'm doing as part of a giant decentralized network, all working on the same fucking problem because we all recognize what it is, while you guys still talking about terrorists and shit. Okay, the government should just come clean. They're not. That's not up to me, right? That's not up to me. But they're afraid they're going to startle the populace. Well, maybe the populace needs to be startled. You know what I mean? Maybe the populace needs to be startled. So if we reach a point where the military comes and starts taking everybody's guns, we're just going to be in a difficult situation because we're not going to know if this is a military controlled by people like this or controlled by smart and well-meaning people. We're going to hope and pray it's smart and well-meaning people. But the military now has been so indoctrinated to just follow orders that it's kind of a crapshoot, guys. But just understand what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a class of predators that claim victimhood, insert themselves in the communities, cozy up to the people who run the community and pretend to be something they're not, and then brutalize that entire fucking community, and bring all their friends in to do the same thing. And when they're secluded enough, then they start selling fucking tickets to their friends, right? And it's just like,
Get the fuck. Get away from me. I'm gonna beat you with this gun. Get.
If he was a woman, like, and I have to sit around a bunch of liberal dumbasses and women now who have been abused themselves by this behavior and think they too now are part of the super master race and can treat this like me. Because if you're a man and a woman switches up on you and says, "Oh, you raped me," out of nowhere, right? Even if you went into a situation thinking everything was kosher and she was flirtatious, right? When the cops come, 9 times out of 10, they're just going to believe her. And it's not just about the law, it's just about our genetics. We have a natural, we want to protect women. But when the women are being weaponized against the males in this fucking country to and are calculated and happy in their weaponization, because in a little bit they're obviously going to have a lot of disdain for the men all around them who aren't protecting them from this constant predation. And so they're obviously going to believe the lies of the people who are reducing them to this covert abusive fucking slavery. Because why wouldn't they? Because all these dudes aren't helping them, and all these dudes can't see the fucking problem. Because they're all desperate working, trying to attract a mate that they can never attract, because their mate is locked in a box for the perusal of people who are using our systems, but on another fucking part of the world, to create slave labor, to create artificial economy, and then using that artificial economy to segregate these people into hives, right? And so, like, well, the real situation, guys, if no one's having kids because every woman needs to be in a fucking harem for only the wealthy elite, who are nothing more than overdressed fucking pimps who collapse government largesse charity money in their own pockets through the act of sexual coercion against a large group of women, using internet as a decentralized modality to expand on that power, right? Like, Okay, and this is happening all around all of you all the time. And I'm just telling you guys why the government's changing. I'm telling you why everything's getting freaky. It's because this is a problem. Liars who pretend to be victims to murder people backed by an institution that reinforces their victimhood is a problem. And in America, we have the ability to get rid of that problem for everybody. We just be like, you know what, it's not working. We're going back to the Constitution, right? Because under the Constitution, if we eliminate all the law, everything else, but under just the Bill of Rights and the understanding of the foundations of our that documentation and the words that they were writing to each other outside of the Constitution, where they're explaining their reasoning, anyone who really understands the core principles of the American Constitution, which was also taken, like a lot of the American Constitution, like we don't see about it in our fake ass history books, but you have to understand there were a lot of Indians here, and there was cultural exchange, and a lot of what the American Constitution or Native Americans is, the Bill of Rights is almost, it was influenced by native modalities of thought and spirituality. Okay, we live in a jungle technically, right? And so that means you can bark all you like, and if someone comes after you, you have the right to shoot them if they're coming after you for barking. All right, it's like it being, that's what the rattlesnake is. It's like, yo, don't come near me, or just don't turn on me. I'm a rattlesnake. I'm fatal if you try and do that. But now there's a lot of people running these flags and they're not doing anything. You know what I mean? And well, it's just about me. No, it's a communal thing, right? But the people who would normally be empowered to make those choices on a case by case in a responsible fashion have now been disempowered by the community. And so military vets who are staying stable people with the most experience, knowledge, and cultural awareness of everyone in their fucking community are being treated like they're all on PTSD and disarmed, while prisoners pretending to be military vets are using that pretension to keep from getting fucking caught and enforcing on the cops that we're all fucking PTSD out. And a lot of cops are vets. They're like, well, I'm not PTSD out, but you're just one of the lucky ones. No, I mean, like, I know tons of military vets in the Army, in the Navy, my friends in the Navy. Like, I can't think of, like, almost none of them have committed suicide. A lot of them are still fairly stable. One of them went through a horrendous experience that many people do commit suicide, and still basically the same fucking person, right? Just because it's just, and at the same time that's happening, and the people who are the most sane, conscious, and aware, although I can tell you what, being aware in a fucking vacuum where everyone thinks you're crazy because you have liars running around pretending to be what you are, can also probably drive a lot of dudes. That's probably why a lot of military vets shoot themselves, because they're like me, but they don't have an outlet, they don't have the technology, they don't have the online community, they don't have I have a few more pieces of awareness, whatever it is that, but like, okay, well, at the same time all that's happening, and then you have these people here doing shit like this, and then lying to the cops, not just individually, but having groups who lie to the cops for fun in groups on site, because it gives them a little bit more of a fucking high when not only do they beat up and murder someone, they can also get the cops to think that person was the bad guy, so they can guarantee that there's not going to be any follow-up. Right? Okay. These guys are just more diluted, obviously, because they're cutting off pieces of themselves, unlike the guy I showed in the thing earlier, right? But they use the same system, right? And so it's like, where'd they learn that? Probably from the people who are doing it better. So even this problem is starting to actually focus on just one other smaller problem, right? And so it's just like, wise the fuck up. Wise up, wise up, wise up.